Welcome to the Post Shift Podcast, your raw look at the hospitality industry, brought to you by SHC. What is happening, Post Shifters? Welcome back to another episode of the Post Shift Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Shawn Soole. For this week's shots, we're getting close to the end of the year, and I wanted to revisit some stuff I did 4 years ago, which is crazy that it was 4 years ago. But 4 years ago, I did a series called Focus, Patience, and Success. It's on my brand swag. It's something that I really believe in. And so I want to do a rehash, and I want to show you guys exactly what I was thinking 4 years ago. So these are redo episodes, and I hope that you enjoy them. Thanks as always, guys. Enjoy your Christmas. Bye. This week was kind of interesting. So I was going to I didn't want to do a PowerPoint, but I was like, I don't really have a office area anymore. Like, the whole backdrop is my bar. And so I wanted to do something that I'm going to do for the next 3 weeks. It's something that I've been sort of ruminating in my head, distilling it down, sort of, so to speak, and sort of figuring out. And I want to call it Focus, Patience, and Success. So these 3 steps: focus, patience, success. I'm going to really line this up because we're only 2.5 weeks out from New Year's Day. So we're 2 weeks out from 2021. And so I thought, well, what are we going to talk about before 2021? And I had a few guests, and then they all fell through Christmas and it's busy and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do something on Fridays. 3 parts: focus, patience, and success. And I'm going to be going through all that. So today I want to talk to you about the 5 steps of focus. Now, really, the 5 steps of focus is goal setting. It's 2021. We're 2 weeks out. If you are sort of thinking about what I'm going to do for the first quarter of 2021, what I'm going to do for the second quarter of 2021, you're sort of already on a back foot. So I really want you to sort of start thinking about what do you want to achieve in those first 3 weeks of thing. The great thing is that from now, pretty much today, Friday, till the New Year's, no one's going to be working. Now, you have a choice. Are you not going to work? Or are you going to seize this opportunity when a lot of people are taking time off with their family? Well, this is going to sound horrible. Taking time off with their family and celebrating Christmas, but taking time off and taking those extra days off and unwinding for the end of the year. Now, this year's been hard. I don't blame you for unwinding. I'm not saying hustle through it, but if you want to achieve some goals in that first quarter, you've got a solid 2 to 3 weeks, which is frustrating for me because I want to get stuff done. I want to bang, 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 and people are like, well, I'm going to finish up my work week this week on Friday and not be back at work till after the New Year. So, but that being said, I'm going to do a ton of website redesign, get myself set up for 2021. So, this is the opportunity. You have a couple of weeks where people are taking their downtime. You can really seize the day and do some stuff that you've been holding back on because you've been busy with the meetings and the Zoom calls and the cocktail things and all this sort of stuff. So, 5 steps to goal setting or the focus. That's what I think. The focus is goal setting. The focus is goal setting. Goals that motivate you. Now, I've talked about this a ton. Happiness. Do you wake up and still feel motivated and happy? There's days when I don't. I'm going to let you on a secret that I've told everybody before. I don't always wake up feeling motivated. There's days when I'm just I just want stuff to click a little bit more. This is going to be the thing, but set goals that motivate you, that go, oh, that's the end line, that's the end line, that's the end line, that's the end line. That's the hard thing for me personally, on a personal note, for me to lose weight and start exercising, is because I don't see the end game. When I used to work out and be very fit, it was for the football team, or for the track team, or for the regionals, or the state titles and stuff like that. So for me, not having that end goal is hard for me to do, and I'm putting a lot of effort into my fitness this year. For 2021, I put on too much weight during COVID. I need to lose some weight. So an end goal for me is to be 240 pounds, which is a lot of weight away for that. Work by the rule of SMART, S-M-A-T. Specific goals. What do you have in mind? Don't say that you want to be financially stable. That's not specific. Don't say you want to, saying you want to buy a new car is relatively specific, but not really. Be specific in what you want to do. Micro and macro. I suppose buying a car is a macro thing, but micro and macro. Do you want to keep your staff happy? Do you want to reduce labor by 2%? Do you want to get that client that you've been chasing for the last couple of months? Do you want to close that big deal? There's little micro things. These are the specific sort of goals that you can really set and really tackle. Manageable. It has to be manageable. The one thing that I have issues with is managing my goals, because my goals are always bigger than my mouth or bigger than my head or whatever the metaphor is. But are your goals manageable? Do you want a really big goal, but you don't really want to work more than 40 hours a week? Really have a think about that. That's where the manageability, the self-awareness, the work ethic really comes into play. Like, is it a manageable goal? Is it a goal that you really should be pitching for third quarter, fourth quarter of 2021? Is it a goal that you should be pitching for 2022? It's not a bad thing to be self-aware enough to understand that you're not going to hit that goal. That brings us to the next one. Attainable. Is it an attainable goal? Saying you're going to make $1 million in 2021, it's not an attainable goal. Well, it probably is for some people, but is it attainable for you? Can you actually do it? Again, work ethic, self-awareness, all these sort of things. Is it an attainable goal? Relevant. Does this goal relevant to your life, to your happiness, to that waking up and being motivated? If it's just making money, this could be an issue. I really do truly believe that if you're in a game to be making money, it's probably not the best game to be in. So, is it a relevant goal? And time-bound. Now, this one's a great one. Time-bound is going to tie in with my last point, but time-bound, T. Be okay with changing your mind. Be okay with like going, oh, this is not working. This is really hard. Let's pivot or take a step sideways or unilaterally or whatever crazy corporate word you want to use and change your mind and go a different direction. Is it time-bound, like I need to be out of my parents' house in 3 months? Okay, so how do you make that happen? Need to be out. Now, this is what I usually do with my goals, which just lines up for number 2, set your goals in writing. So what I usually do is set my goal on a piece of paper, draw a line back and go, how do I achieve all my things and my KPIs? So, want to move out of your parents' house? That's a really simple one. So, you want to move out of your parents' house? Okay, so you need a full-time job, done. You need to be making this much money, done. You need to get this style of apartment, done. You need to get a roommate, this sort of thing, done. These are all little things that lead up to that goal of you moving out of your parents' house. Now, that's a very simple, easy goal. Hard goal for some of the 18, 19-year-olds that might be listening right now to be moving out of their parents' house, especially during COVID. I know a lot of industry people, a lot of hospitality industry people listen to me, so that's a really difficult one right now. Being on part of the Bartenders Benevolent Fund, I hear about all these stories all the time. But writing your goals down in writing, putting them down on paper, on a whiteboard. You won't see them, but I've got whiteboards and pinboards all over this side of the room. You never see that in the shots because it's not very attractive, but I've got sections, whiteboards, all for my different projects, where I want to be, how I want to be at them. So write it down so you're constantly reminded. Don't put it in a book, like I'm reading from my notes right here. Don't put it in a book and then put it in your cupboard. Like, have it somewhere where every day pounds you in. What is your fucking goal? How are you going to get to it? How do you do it? Because if you put it in writing, you should show all the key performance indicators of where you're at getting to that goal. So bang, 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 every day you got to write into your head about where you want your goal to be. Perfect number 4. Man, I'm segueing really good into all these points. Perfect point. Number 4, action plan. So what I was saying about KPIs, put it in writing. Then, okay, figure out how you're going to do it. Okay, so you want to start a new business. What's that sort of business? Now, is that business online? Is it direct to consumer? Is it business to B2B, business to business? What style of business is it? Is it brick and mortar? Do you have to pay for rent? Can you get a place cheap for rent? All these different things. These are your action plan. And this is where your action plan really comes into play. It's like, how do you achieve your goals? And you really need to sit down, stop, take a breath, turn the phone off. Not turn the phone off like you're taking it off the hook anymore, but turn the phone off, turn your computers off, sit down with a piece of paper, figure out where your goals are going, and set an action plan with milestones throughout that action plan to win. So, last point, number 5 is assess and re-gear. Now, this one, a lot of goal settings is like keep pushing. I want to say assess and re-gear. Why do I want to say assess and re-gear? Is that assessing and re-gearing means that you can change your mind. You have to give yourself the liberty to change your mind and go a different direction. There is no reason you ever need to keep to the same plan. Now, when I work in restaurants, I talk about mission statements and those sort of things. Those sort of things need to put in stone. As a personal person, you don't need to have a mission statement. You need to have where you want to be, how you're going to get there. Write it down. If something's not working for you, whether it be social media, your website, something, stop. Regear, think about it, change your mind, go a different direction. There's nothing wrong. Changing your mind is demonized in society these days. And changing your mind is not a bad thing. If you're in university right now and you want to be a bartender, obviously post-COVID, do it. Whatever makes you happy. Change your mind. Changing your mind means it leads to happiness. Changing your mind means that you can be a happy person when you wake up. You can be motivated for those goals. Don't do things that don't make you happy. I talk about this with people all the time. I never do anything that doesn't make me happy. Everything I do makes me gloriously happy, whether it be my family, my work here, tasting BC spirits, making cocktails, learning new things. Everything makes me happy. And anything that doesn't make me happy, I cut from my life very freaking quickly. I don't have, we've got another 40 years in this world. I'm not going to waste my time on being unhappy and being miserable because of some dick or some douche online or some relationship, whether that be family, friends, whatever. Got to be happy. And that's where you reassess, re-gear, and change your direction if you need to. So, this is my first part of three parts of focus, patience, success. So focus is all about goal setting, like really focusing down on exactly what you need, what you want out of this life, out of 2021. Let's not even forget about the life. Let's stop about life. Let's just talk about the first 3 months of 2021. What the fuck do you want? And on that note, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks as always for the support, guys. I'll chat to you real soon. Bye. Thanks for listening, Pose Shifters. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I really enjoy sitting down with friends and peers and just chatting about the industry and getting down to the nuts and bolts of what's really going on out there. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, everything on all the platforms. Just hit it up and I'll do my best to answer any queries or questions you have. I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.